This is the scariest monster that has ever existed. No, not the Kraken, not even close. This monster is so terrifying that even the most hardened of soldiers and sailors refuse to speak its name. And if you hear it calling out to you in the night, you have to do whatever it asks of you or else. Well, let me tell you a story about the Kentucky Goblin. The Kentucky Goblin is an evil spirit that haunts the night. It's said to be the most evil spirit to ever exist in the state of Kentucky. If you were to meet this creature, it would demand you take it home with you. If you agreed, it would bring you untold riches and power. But at what cost? The goblin would then force you to do its bidding, forcing you to commit heinous acts for its amusement. And if you refused, well, let us just say that no one has ever seen a Kentucky Goblin and lived to tell the tale. There have been many sightings of this creature throughout history, but the most famous one happened back in 1824. A man named Innes Farnsworth was traveling through the woods when he heard a blood-curdling scream in the night. He tried to make his way past it, but the creature kept getting closer and closer until finally it spoke to him. The creature introduced itself as the Great Goblin of Kentucky and demanded that he be taken back to its lair so it could grant him 3 wishes. Of course, Innes was hesitant, but the goblin threatened to harm him if he didn't agree. So Innes relented and allowed the goblin to lead him through the forest. When they finally arrived at the goblin's lair, it was unlike anything Innes had ever seen before. There were chests overflowing with gold and jewels and all kinds of riches beyond his wildest dreams. The goblin told him that he could have anything he wanted, if he would just do one simple task. He wanted Innes to retrieve a magical harp that was guarded by a terrible dragon. Of course, Innes was scared, but he knew that the reward would be worth it. So he took the goblin's advice and went to retrieve the harp. But when he got there, the dragon was much more ferocious than he had anticipated. It took all of his strength to escape with the harp, and when he returned to the goblin, it was nowhere to be found. The goblin had vanished, and so had all of its treasure. All that remained was a single golden feather. And when Innes touched it, he was suddenly transported back to where he had first encountered the goblin. From that day forward, no one has ever seen the Kentucky Goblin. But some say that if you listen closely, you can still hear its laughter echoing through the caves of Kentucky. Thanks for watching. If you want to see another scary story, stay tuned for more.